So, very good afternoon, each and everyone present here. First of all, I welcome our director, Honorable Director, Professor Pankaj Shukla, sir, our trainer, our esteemed trainer and guest trainer for our training program, which will go for another 10 days on Advanced Excel and PowerPoint. On behalf of Amity Global Business School, our director, Shukla sir, our faculties and our dear students, sir, we welcome you and thank you for accepting our invite and giving your precious time to be a part of this very important skill, as we say so, considering requirement in the corporate world. So students, I'm sure you know very well know, most of you know on having Excel skills. Here we are talking about advanced Excel skill. So a working knowledge of Excel is vital for most office-based professionals today, and a stronger Excel skills can open the door to promotion and leadership opportunities. It takes a savvy computer user to take advantage of everything Excel has to offer to provide the best result for their company. And to enlighten us on the various tricks and tips for Excel, Advanced Excel and PowerPoint, we have Mr. Sumit Gulati, who is also the founder of A to Z Learning and Consultant and FinExcel Academy. He's a qualified as MBA Finance. He's a BE, DIBF, UGC NET, CFA Level 1 and FRM Level 1 qualified. He has more than 12 years of experience in industry, academia and training. He's the author of the book on financial management, published by one of the top publishers, McGraw-Hill Education. His book is referred and has been adopted by many institutes, both in India and abroad. He has also authored, edited and reviewed many other books. He has touched the lives of more than 12,000 students, professionals, including more than 1,000 international delegates, executives from 30 plus countries. On April 17, 2018, he featured on an international podcast, The Entrepreneurial You with Henika Watkins-Potter. The interview talk was titled Leveraging Microsoft Excel for Optimal Productivity and Performance with Mr. Sumit Gulati. He has done a lot of workshops on data analysis and visualization using Advanced Excel for students for top 250 institutes of India, including more than 5 IIMs, Symbiosis, etc. He's conducted financial modeling and merger and acquisition courses at a renowned university as a visiting faculty. Conducted one-day workshop on Microsoft Excel for business management for more than 300 students of PGDM first year at leading these schools, and has done various workshops on financial modeling, Excel workshop, fundamental analysis, advanced Excel, financial orientation workshop, effective visualization, financial need assessment of startup, workshop on, again, advanced Excel, training on financial modeling using Excel. So I think it could have been no better than Mr. Sumit Gulati to have actually joined us and train you and give all the tips and tricks which we require in the current corporate world. But before we proceed further, I request our Honorable Director, sir, to please begin this session. This is actually the brainchild and guidance of our director, sir, who was really looking forward to having this Excel training. But due to our calendar, with our exams coming up, then we had our MBA 2 exams coming up. We couldn't do it in the month of January. But nevertheless, it was sir who said that, Excel and PowerPoint is something that we need to have. In fact, sir, we would like to hear from you. And I would also like to mention, I remember your welcome address in the HR conclave we conducted in 2019. And your first line to our student was that during your days of working in the corporate, I'm talking about 80s and 90s, where you used to use calculator, and these students, our generation, are using Excel. So, sir, what is the difference in terms of doing the work at the 1/10 or 100th of the time and getting the better results? Over to you, sir.
True. Thank you very much, Mohit. And I truly welcome Mr. Sumit Gulati, because not only that, he's such a well-experienced person in his trainer in various disciplines, including finance. And while you were reading out about Mr. Gulati, I thought we should also, it has crossed my mind that we should do financial modeling for our finance students. And what better person than Mr. Gulati? So, when I went to school, we were said that, the 3 hours of education consisted of, reading, writing, and arithmetic. So 3 hours. Okay, life has changed much after that, out of school, then, I did my MBA. And during an MBA also, first time I was introduced to a calculator. So we had to do calculation, and that was a gadget which I worked on. And fine, then I realized that, I didn't have to add, and all I had to do is to press the plus button, and things were adding up. And my professor still insisted that, you should be able to mentally add, because if you're sitting in a boardroom or in a meeting, and very quickly you have to calculate percentages, etc., then you should be able to do it. And I really find that advice useful today. So I've not given up on mental calculations. Having said that, calculating, net present value and net future value, etc., the calculator really helped me. And then in 1992, it was 1991 actually, one morning when I went to my office, and I found that huge desktop sitting on my table. And I said, "What is this?" So I was told that, from now on we have to work on this. And, no more memos you will get, typed memos, and everything will come on. That time it was known as CC mail, okay, closed circuit mail. So CC mail you will get. I said, okay. And then he said that, no more using that, rule sheets, etc., for your calculation. This has a software called SuperCal, and you will use SuperCal to do all your calculation. So I was scratching my head. I said, okay, fine, what is this? So then I called my secretary. I said, okay, you put this box to one side and let me get on with my work. And one morning, I reached office, and I found that the office was empty. Okay, office was empty, and there was nobody there. And the watchman over there said, "Sir, today is holiday." I said, "How come today is a holiday? I was not informed of it." So I called up, the branch manager at that time. I said, "Today is a holiday. How come I didn't come?" He said, "It's there on CC mail. And if you don't bother to read up your CC mail, this is what's going to happen. You'll miss out." So that was learning for me to, get onto my CC mail, open my inbox every morning and see what is there. So life from there has moved on. Okay. And then we had what was then known as a spreadsheet. So SuperCal gave way to spreadsheet, and we were doing basic calculation then, and then Excel came. The point that I'm trying to make, and this is to all my, participating students over here, that, life moves, technology moves, and some of it becomes very, very essential. It was very essential for us to learn how to add, subtract, multiply, divide, and then do board mass, and then, do advanced calculations, etc. When I did my BSc, I had taken advanced mathematics, and I had to do all my calculations. Okay, so I had to do all my calculations on paper and pen. In BSc, that time I didn't have calculator, and calculator weren't so prevalent as well. And after that, it became essential for me to learn SuperCal and calculator, then SuperCal, then the spreadsheet, and now, of course, the Excel. So Excel is now become a very, very fundamental skill that you need to know. As much as you need to know how to add and subtract, you need to know. Any office you go to, any workplace you do, whether you run to your own business, you want to learn Excel and really, really calculate it. And Excel is a very, very powerful tool, as you will discover. Hundreds of things that you do, projection. Okay, so that is the power, and it is a must. Today, if you go to for a job and say that you don't know Excel, automatically you have rendered your candidature as nil. Okay, presentations, no more presentations, and people don't want the long sheets and a report. All they know is a deck of 7, 8, 10 Excel PPT presentations, and there you are, very clearly saying that what is it that you want to present, including now your CVs, etc., need to be prepared on PowerPoint. So understanding the power of PowerPoint, how to make excellent presentations, it's not just about impressing, but it is all about how you highlight the main features of what is it that you're presenting. Okay. PowerPoint helps you to do that, as much as even Word needs to do it. So MS Office Suite gives you all that. So in the first of our series of skill building, etc., the most essential of Excel and PowerPoint is what is required. And I'm requesting all my students, so we have to please take this very, very seriously. Very seriously. Learn, because you will be required to use it extensively in your day-to-day work at workplace. It's very essential. It is as essential as learning, reading, writing, and arithmetic. The 3 R's. They have been replaced, of course, by new term, but Excel and Excel, PowerPoint, Word is very, very important. With that, I would like Mr. Sumit Gulati to take the session forward, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Sir, can you unmute? Yeah.
Yes, yes, please. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for the address. It is actually a very important tool today. We have been seeing this around with the industry, interacting a lot with the industry also. One of the most essential tools, as rightly said. Thank you for the invite. Thank you for inviting me here. And with your permission, we can start this session.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. So, Mohit sir, shall we start, right?
So please,
Okay.
you should.
Okay.
Yes.
So would request most of the students who can, right, to be on the camera mode. It helps, otherwise it ends up I speaking to the systems. That helps in interaction, because this is a live workshop. Once I ask you, once we do something together, it will help me understand whether you actually did it or not. Anyways, so being saying something, sir?
No. In fact, students, please, as sir said, and I've written you a mail also. Let's utilize this opportunity. We won't have Mr. Sumit. It's very rare opportunity that we have trainers like Sumit sir to actually come and give his time for this training. Please on your camera, everyone. I hope everyone have logged in from their laptop and not from their phone. Please take this training very, very seriously, and I requesting everyone to please on their camera. And I'm sure so. Let us give motivation to sir also, that he's not only speaking to the laptop, but also to our curious students out here who will want to learn from him. So please, requesting everyone to on their camera, please.
Right. Actually, that helps in a way, because once this interaction happens, I would be talking to Shreyam then. Otherwise, I would be talking to the systems. So I would know whether he did it or not. So that helps.
And if I may add here that, please open your Excel sheets on your laptop and keep doing, as sir is explaining, keep doing on your palm, and that's when you will learn. So when you do it yourself, that's when it will sit inside your mind and you will learn. Listening is only part of it. Doing will complete the knowledge.
Right. But I'm sharing some files. I'm sharing a Google Drive link. You can download the few files from here, so that we can do all along what we are doing out here, so that the data is available with you on what I'll be working along. So this is an open drive file. There are 4 workbooks in it. We can just click on and download all the participants out here.
Students, just a quick check. This training is only very, very limited to only our AGBS students of MBA 2 and MBA 4 SEM batch. I see a couple of people who maybe I may not know. Could you please change your screen name? I would like to highlight. I saw Mr. Lokendra there. Could you please introduce yourself, Lokendra Kumar? I see Lokendra Kumar here, and I see Dr. Mohit Mishra. Lokendra and Mohit Mishra, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes. Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Lokendra and Mr. Mohit Mishra, are you?
Yes, sir. Hello.
Lokendra, are you a student of AGBS MBA 2?
No, sir.
I cannot hear you, Lokendra. I'm so sorry. Dr. Mohit Mishra, could you please introduce yourself? So, Mr. We can proceed, sir, please. Sorry to interrupt.
No, not an issue. So I would just request all to download the files and save it in a system as day 1 files. I'll be sharing such files going ahead also, so that everybody can do along what we do out here. So and hopefully there is no problem in downloading the files. If all have tried. Done. Thank you. Thank you for confirming, Professor Rana. So what we do is we start with the first file. In fact, before going to the first file, I understand there is a lot of things which I would just love to discuss before I start with the files. Although this will take only 2, 3, 4 minutes just to make us understand why Excel and what are the spreadsheets, especially for those probably who may not have used it. And I would be using few terms like open a new worksheet, workbook, go to this cell. Go. So if there are few of us who have not used it, just a brief introduction before we get to the files and start doing the exercises all along. Now, if I talk of Excel, right, just 5 minutes of introduction to Excel. What is Excel? Why Excel? Few things is what I've realized over few years and years of trainings in the workshop across world is you walk into any office, you may find R, you may find Python, people working on this, but there's one tool which is available everywhere where everybody is working is Excel. So that is why this is important. Now, previously, 5 years, 10 years, 8 years back, 6 years back, it was a tool which if somebody knew it is good, but now it's a mandatory tool for all of us to learn, especially for the business graduates. This is expected that we know this before we enter the industry. Second is few things, right? Just, I don't know. There was one study I was reading through. It said that 80%, 81% of the businesses globally use Excel. So 81% of the businesses globally use Excel. If finance, it would be almost 99% because financial modeling, anything cannot happen without Excel. So this is just a brief introduction. Where would we use Excel? Can anybody help me with one thing? How many sheets do you believe are there in Excel? How many in one worksheet? How many rows are there? If anyone can help me with that in the 2016 version. How many rows? That will help us understand what one worksheet. Worksheet we understand. This is the worksheet. Whatever this sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3 at the bottom, these are the worksheets which we put a plus sign and add one more sheet to it. How much data one worksheet can accommodate? So just
So
ask
1,000, like I'm just saying approximate 1,000.
rows, ma'am.
Worksheet I'm saying.
No,
talking
I'm
about
asking the number of rows in one worksheet.
Okay.
Number of rows in one worksheet, just to understand how much data one worksheet can accommodate.
About a lakh or so.
Anyone else?
We are on lakhs of data.
Lakhs of data. So how many rows and how many columns? Just to give us a brief idea, in latest version, in 16 version, there are 10,48,576 rows. And almost 16,000, there are 16,384 columns. That means in one worksheet, we can accommodate this much of data, this much of numbers or data sets. These many cells we would be having. So just to give you a brief idea, how much data one can accommodate in one Excel. Over a period of time, this Excel capability of data entry and storage has increased. Right? They have realized if they have to manage a bigger set of data, probably this is the way we should start with. Which is huge. Now this is huge because you press a plus sign, you would again have a worksheet having this much capability of data. So what we use Excel for? We use Excel for data entry and storage. We use Excel for collection and verification of business data. Now, Excel has made it very simple. Now they have come up with Power BI, other tools are also becoming popular, which is an extension to it. So what has happened is Excel, you can import data easily, you can clean up data easily, you can remove the duplicates easily, and you can complete the incomplete entries easily. We'll do all those exercises in small bits and here and there, where when we start doing it, we would realize how to import the data, how to clean up the data, how to remove the duplicates. So collection and verification of business data is another very important application of spreadsheet or an Excel. Third important point is administrative and managerial duties. Excel allows a lot of functionalities for managers to create and outline business processes. So if you see, go to project manager, I have a lot of friends in engineering background. Once they go to managerial role, they are doing everything on Excel. They're managing various projects on Excel, how budgeting, everything comes down to Excel. So accounting and budgeting, again, it now also offers a lot of templates on accounting and budgeting for easy use. Directly, you can click on it and use the template. Then we have, if I say data analysis, now we would be covering few tools like pivot tables, formulas, combo charts. So all these, if you see, these are very powerful data analysis and visualization tools. Reporting and visualization, interactive charts and graphs, conditional formatting, power pivots, slicers. All these tools will help us do a lot of reporting and visualization on a real-time basis.
I'm sorry to interrupt here,
Right.
but I'm sure this is going very well. If you can excuse me, then I would like to carry on. Then other things I want to, the other pressing things that are calling me. So
Sure, sir.
students, I wish you all the best, right? And make the most of this. Thank you once again, Mr. Gulati.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Students,
Okay.
sorry, sir, to interrupt. Students, could you confirm who is Lokendra Kumar? Can anyone confirm? Okay, so you go ahead, sir. Please.
Right. Okay, so forecasting is another very important tool in where it gives you ability to statistical ability to, as well integration with external softwares to forecast the data. Now with this brief introduction, I would request all to open up one.students file. I would request all to open up one.students file. Just to get a brief idea from students, if you can just respond, how many of us have used Excel before? Broadly, if we used it for some functions, like at least we know the formatting side of it, other things, I would just love to know that. Just put a yes in the chat box if you have used Excel at any point of time before. It would help me to understand from where, at what level to start with. Great. Others, if there are few no's also, then you can help me with that also. Because I would be, the first Excel we would start is, we would be doing the first formatting thing, which is the most important thing in Excel. Before you manage any data or you do anything on data, we format it off. Okay, great. If you find any difficulty, do let me know going ahead. Let us come to worksheet 2. In one.students file, let us come to worksheet 2. Can you see this data out here? Can you see this data out here, which is play data?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Right. Now, what I want us to do, just to understand whether we understand this well or not, we should understand two things. We would take it as a thumb rule. Whenever we are working on Excel, the first thing we do on data is format the data. We can take this as a thumb rule. Whenever we are working on any worksheet, the first thing we do on data is to format the data. Now, at times when you download the data from places or you copy and paste the data from somewhere, data may come like this. Now, if I ask you something, in which year, how many plays were done by Ashi? Ashi is an actress in this. In 2016, can you find out just by looking at this data? How many plays were done by Ashi in 2016?
So it is not possible to tell exactly the same,
Right.
without using certain code and all.
Right, without using certain code and all. And moreover, there's one more thing, you are not able to see the years. Right?
Sir, sorry to interrupt. Are you sharing something on Excel or you are sharing a PPT?
No, I'm sharing something on Excel. Just give me a minute. I'll share the screen now.
Not visible, sir.
Are you able
actually.
to see now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
It is visible
Okay,
now.
okay. My fault. I was just referred to the sharing the file. I thought I've shared the screen.
No.
Anyways, thanks for confirming. So, can you see this file? In this file, if I
Yes,
ask
sir.
you how many plays were done by Ashi in 2016, will you be able to tell like this?
No.
We cannot, right?
No,
We
sir.
cannot.
No.
Because
No,
one of the
sir.
most important thing is you are not able to see the years. You don't even know that these are years. Right? If I make it this way, you see these are years. Right? And there would be a lot of times when you have data which is unformatted comes to you. The first thing we do on data, do on data before doing anything else on Excel is to format the data. Now, what I want to do is you to convert this data to look exactly like this. Now that data and this data, the data which I've shared with you, this data and this data are the same. There may be some, I'll just give me a minute. That data and this data are the same, this one. This data and the data which I've shared with you is the same. Only thing is this data is formatted to come to this. Can we just format that data to look like this? In next probably 1 minute. It should not take more than 10-20 seconds, but in just 1 minute to start with. Try and let me know. The data which is there on 1.students file worksheet 2, I want that data to be converted and it should look exactly like this. Try it out and confirm once done.
Sir, can you please repeat the process if it's possible?
Yes, what I'm saying is this is the data which is available with you. Now
Yes, sir.
this data and this data is exactly the same. That means that sheet only has been formatted to come to this point.
Yes, sir.
Simple formatting. Just to understand how much of the formatting tools we have done, or we can try. I want you to convert this data and look, it should look exactly like this. Although I'll take it step by step afterwards. Let us all try. We know want to centralize it. We want to increase this. We want, right? We want to centralize it. We want to up centralize the other things. We want to do this. But can you just convert this data to look exactly like this? Please let me know once done.
Done, sir.
Done.
Done. Exactly. Are these column widths and row widths exactly equal?
Yes.
These are exactly equal.
Yes.
Right. Wonderful. Others also, please try. I'll wait for a half a minute more and then probably take it from beginning, how we could have done it. It should not take, in real life, it does not take more than 10 to 15 seconds to do this.
Done, sir.
Done. Wonderful. Others also, please confirm. Try it out. Try it out and
Done.
wonderful.
Sir, I think we have to change the formatting of the font style also.
Yes, this is Calibri 14. This is all Calibri 14. This is Calibri 14 bold. This is Calibri 16. This is Calibri 14. This is 16, and this is Calibri 14. Okay, how many of us could not do it? I want these column widths and row widths to be exactly equal also. How many of us could not do it and want me to do it from scratch? Please let me know. How many of us could not do it and want me to do this from scratch so that we can follow along? No one. Everybody's through with this. Okay.
I'm sure a lot of students must have not been able.
Right.
Please do.
I'll do that. That's why I just want them to answer off, because in this thing I cannot see your screen. So if you're not done, please let me know so that I can do it all along.
Students, please, you need to respond. This is the first day. Please open up. I'm sure sir you will ask 1,000 questions, sir will answer you 10,000 answers. Please.
Right. But you have to speak up. That is what
Exactly.
I'm trying to
Mohit
get.
sir, we are not replying because we are out of the student league. So please excuse us.
Sure, I'm sure.
Definitely, ma'am. Let us start with it. First and foremost, you need to select the data. How do you select the data? How do you select the data? Click on the first cell, which is this cell where play data is written. There are two ways. Either you can drag it down and select till end. Drag it down and select till end. Step 1, drag it down and select till end. Right? Now what we want to do, if you look at this final output, if you look at this one, you can see these all to be centralized, up centralized, right? So what we want to do first, we want to use few tools first. Just give me a minute. Bring this down. What you want to do first is press this button, which will centralize all data. Press this button, which will up centralize all the data. So first step done. right? Next, you can see there are a lot of places where there are colors filled in, We would want to do away with the colors. So how do you do away with the filled in colors? You click here and say no fill. So everywhere the colors will go off. Now you also want to see these numbers are colored. 7 is colored. If you can see, there are a few places this 7 is colored and this hashtag is coming colored. So how do you remove this color? Go to this, click here and say automatic. So the coloration will go off. First thing, right? Now, if you see this sheet which I showed you earlier, there are borders around. Right? All this we'll do in one go. So how to put the borders? I'm not telling you shortcuts right now. How to put the borders are, go to this tab, click here, come down and say all borders. Right? I'll do this again if you want me to do this, because this is, I believe, one of the most important things in Excel is to format the data first. Right? Now, once you have put in all borders, can you see there are few places where there are bolds and there are few places where the text is italics, right? There are few Jyoti, Shipra, 14, 15, 16, all these are bold. And there are no bolds out here. If you see this data final output. So what we do to remove the bold, we click on bold, all the bolds are gone. We click on italics, everything becomes italics. We click on italics again, the italics is gone. Right? Now, as I said, all this is in Calibri font. So click here, press enter. So everything becomes Calibri now. Only the top one is 16, all others are 14. So let us make it 14. We'll change the up one to 16 afterwards. 14.
Gulati sir, where is the presenter? Just you said.
Where is the
Presenter? Yeah, you
Who's this?
In,
this one you are saying? The font size? Font
size I know. There is
Uh-huh.
one thing called, you just said presenter. Go to presenter.
Go to presenter.
Yeah.
I do not know.
Okay,
Sir,
okay.
probably some other word may have been used.
Can you do last 3-4 steps, please?
I'll do that again. We'll do that again, sir, once again after this.
I was getting everything, then you use the word presenter, then I got away from there.
Okay. So what I'm saying right now is we have already selected this. So Calibri, and we make it 14 for the time being. So everything becomes 14 now. Right? So up till this point, only with one selection, we have done everything to make it like this. Now we have to do something separately, because this is colored, this is data, and we have to increase the column widths and row widths. Now we click somewhere here, we go to the top. Let us do something here. Click on B, press a shift and click on E. We click on B, we press a shift and we click on E. Now we drag anyone, something like this, and leave it. All column widths will be equal. Again, what I'm saying, click on B, press a shift and click on E. So all the columns are selected from B to E. Not drag anyone. You could have dragged D between C and D, or any one of these. Whatever length you will drag this, suppose E is now of this much width, every B, C, D will become of the same width. Just see. Or you drag something back, everything becomes of the same width, because I wanted every column to be of the same width. Right? Now we do two things first. We select this off. I want this to be bold and I want this to be filled with yellow. We select this off. I want this to be 16 font. I want this to be bold and I want this to be orange. Right? Only last step remains. Click here, scroll down, click on 3. In fact, click on 2, because that is also of the same width. If you see, this is also of the same width. So click on 2, scroll down, press a shift and click on 20. Press a shift and click on 20. Now drag any one of these. The moment I drag between 4 and 5, something slightly only, you see all the row widths will become equal. Your data is formatted. Just confirm if anyone has lost at any point of time. I'll do this again. Because this is the first and
The
foremost.
same thing applies with the rows, right?
Same thing applies with the rows.
Thank
You click here, you press a shift to drag, you click here and drag any one of it, it will apply to the rows. Drag anyone, it will be all will become equal. Is this done for all? Please put a yes. If it is, if you're missed on somewhere, you want me to do it again, I'll do it again, because every time you get a data, one of the most critical important pointers is you have to format it first. No matter how much we are pressed with time, first and foremost, we format the data.
Done, sir.
Wonderful. So although if I would have done this, I would have used something like this. If I would have done this, I would have used something, just selected the data off, and then I would have used something like this. And then probably went here, no fill, went here, all automatic, Calibri 14. So actually this should take this much time. This should take this much time and not more than that. Right? If you see, this should have taken this much time only. This is also when I'm using some sort of mouse here. Otherwise it should be, this should have taken this much time only. Now the data is formatted. Idea is there would be two things when we learn Excel. One is effectiveness, other is efficiency. Effectiveness means whether we know the formulas, whether we can apply the pivot table, whether we can make the graphs and charts, whether we know which charts to apply where. Other would be how fast we can do it. Industry really values who can do it fast, right? To help you do something faster, I don't know how many of us have used it, but just to help you do something faster, if you have any doubts out here, please do let me know. Otherwise, I take you to some how to do customization on Excel.
Sir,
Yes, please.
please tell me the first step after selecting the data. What did you do to get it in order? The first step after selecting the data.
This was the situation initially, right? Just give me a minute. This was the situation approximately when we
sir.
started.
Yes, sir.
What I did is first I ask you to select the data.
Yes, sir.
Right? After that, we need to first centralize and up centralize. So this is centralization within here.
Okay, sir. Got it.
And up centralize.
Yes, sir. I got it.
Right? Okay. So come to worksheet 1. Come to worksheet. This is a blank worksheet. Right? This is a blank worksheet. Generally, we enter the data how we type the data, we press enter, the tab comes down. We press here, we press enter, it comes down, right? This is how it works. Generally, what happens? We click here, we press enter, it comes down. Suppose the requirement is we want to fill bottom to up. That means we want to type somewhere here and go up to this cell, right? Either we can use these arrow keys. If I press on up arrow, it will go up. But generally, we are in a practice of doing this, pressing enter, then going up 2 times. Can I tell Excel that every time I press enter, don't go down, go up? Can I tell Excel in any ways that when I press enter, don't go down, go up? It is going down right now. By default, it goes down. Right? These small things can be customized in Excel. Let us see how. Is the problem clear? Is the issue clear? Right?
Yes, sir.
So if I have to tell it to go up instead of going down, what I can do is, let us do this together. Let us have a look at it. Don't do it right now. I'll tell you why. Just have a look at it. I go to this file button. I come down to options. When this option opens, can you see all this? I go to advanced. Can you see after pressing down move selection, what is selected out here by default? I have gone to file option, I went to options. This opened up. I went to advanced. What is written out here after pressing enter move selection?
Go down.
If I change it to up, If I change it to up and come here and press OK. Now when I type something and press enter, it will go up. I type anything and I press enter, it will go up. Just when we are trying to fill something from bottom to top. So instead of just saving few minutes here and there is very critical in industry. Right? So what it allows me to do is I can say it to go down. I can say it to go up. I can even say it to go right or left, depending on my requirement. Right? Hopefully this is clear. Just to customize, there can lot of customizations which can happen in Excel. Only issue is, please note down what changes you are making. Why I'm saying so, I'll show you something. Why I'm saying you need to note down what changes are you making. Just a minute. Yes. Why I'm saying this? Because suppose you make some change which is like this. You go to this, you go to advanced, and you by mistake, you say allow editing directly in cell. This is selected. Now by mistake, you deselected just for trying it, and you come out here and press OK. Now see what happens. I type something out here, I press enter. Now I want to get back into this to edit it. I am not able to do this. I'm trying to click over here, double click over here and trying to edit it. I'm not able to do it. If I have to edit it, I have to go to the formula bar and edit it. Why this happened? Because in this selection, what was there in default, allow editing directly in cell, I have deselected it. This may be a very important tool if you want no one else to directly edit the data by mistake. Somebody press something and the data goes off. If you want to hold that up, enable this. But if you want to edit it, if it is enabled, you won't be able to do it. So whatever changes you are making out here, please make sure you are noting it down. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts in this till this point? Please do let me know. Otherwise, a simple. Yes.
Can you explain the enter, and when you press enter, how do you go up again?
I'll do that. See, you know, Ria, one thing, when you press enter, the cursor goes down. Right? Whenever I type something and I press enter key, it moves down, right?
Yes, sir.
What I wanted it to move up. So what I can do is I can click on file button. I come down to options. When you go down to options, this window opens up. This one, I go to advanced. This is by default in every system. After pressing enter, move selection down. Here I am going and saying it to move up. When I press OK, next time when I enter something and press enter, the cursor will move up instead of going down.
Okay, sir. Got it.
Got it? Okay. Hopefully this is clear to all. We'll do few tips and tricks also in between every time we work on it. For the time being, let us come to 2.students file. I'll tell you something very, very, very interesting. Once we are here, please do let me know with a yes once all are here on 2.students file. Once we all are here, please let me know. You will. Okay. Others also, quick response would help. Wonderful. 5, 4, 5. I generally wait for at least 50%. So it will help. And how it helps is because then you are responding, we all listen. Thanks, Nidhi. Thanks, Myron, D'Souza. Wonderful, Tina. Keshav. Okay. I expect a better response after this exercise. Now, coming to worksheet 1. We all know how to add the numbers. Why Excel became so powerful, you know. Excel became so powerful because in calculators, what we are doing, if I have to add these 4 numbers, right? What we had to do? We had to press 8 plus 3 plus 9 plus 4 and we get the sum. This is what calculator did. Same thing I can do on Excel also. In Excel, we know whenever we are starting a formula, we have to start with an equal to sign. Whenever we have to starting a formula, we have to start with equal to sign. If I press 8 plus 3 plus 9 plus 4, will I get the answer? If I say equal to 8 plus 3 plus 9 plus 4, will I get the answer?
So we usually do the adding function, add D to G.
Add D to G. We usually do that, but if I do this, will I get the answer?
No, You sir. can get, sir.
No.
No, sir.
Yes, yes, yes.
You can get, sir. Yes, sir, you will get it.
We'll get the answer. We'll get the answer, but then we are not using Excel as an Excel. We are using Excel as a calculator. Right? We are pressing 8 plus 3 plus 9 plus 4 and we are saying equal to, we are adding it up like we are doing it on a calculator, right? What Excel helped us to do is, instead of this, if I do this, and issue, you know what is the issue with doing this? If I change this number to 10, will the answer 24 change now?
No.
It won't, because we have hard-coded 8 out here. We have hard-coded 8, right? So it won't change. So what we wanted to do was, instead of this, I wrote something like this. This plus this plus this and plus this. Will it work? D5 plus E5 plus F5 plus G5.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It will work, right?
Yes, sir.
Interesting is what now we are using Excel to be more like an Excel. Why? Because we are referring to a cell instead of hard coding the data. We are saying add whatever is there in D5, E5, F5 and G5, right?
Yes, sir. I do
Now,
that.
now if I change something here, will it change, Shreyam?
Yes, sir. It will change.
It will change, sir.
It will change because we have referred in H, what we have referred to is D5,
Yes.
right? I make it 8 back. Second best part is Excel is a smart tool, which made it so powerful. I write the formula here once. I want to add these numbers now. Do I have to write the formula again?
No, sir. You can drag the formula.
No, sir, it gets auto added every time.
Yes. Auto added means once you drag it down, what is happening is you added what? D5 plus E5 plus F5 plus G5, right? The moment you move down, now it is adding D6 plus E6 plus F6 plus G6. So it is the moment you move down, the references also moves down one's place. Is this clear? This is what we call it as relative referencing in Excel. And this is what made Excel so powerful. You write the formula once, you drag it down, you double click or drag it down 10,000 lines, it will do the similar things for 10,000 lines by automatically referencing the corresponding data.
So there is some another thing which I am doing is equal to sum.
Right,
Then
sir.
selecting a bracket from the cell
Yes, sir.
D4 or D5 to the
Right,
end.
sir. Sir, I'm coming to that only after this.
Okay.
Right, I'll come to that only. I was just trying to put in how Excel, why Excel is so useful, because you can drag it down. You have to refer to a cell instead of hard coding. That was the idea. Anyways, so this is now what we did. We used practically Excel like calculator again by referring it D5, E5. Instead of this, there are some inbuilt formulas in Excel. There are some inbuilt formulas. If I click on top, can you see all these formulas out here? If I click on financial, there are financial formulas. Logical, there are few formulas. Text, there are few formulas. Similarly, in maths and trigonometric, there is a formula which we call it as sum. Sum, right? Now, what sum does for us is you say sum and go and select these off, D5 to G5. It will add all these up. Every formula has a specific function. Every formula has something to do. So if I say sum D5 to G5, it becomes 24. I can drag it down. Interestingly, this becomes some D6 to G6, if you can see. Is this clear? Is this clear till this point? So
Yes, sir.
every formula will have a different meaning out here. Right?
Sir,
Yes, please.
I have a doubt. How
Yes.
did you select the cell in the first? Like they were colorful and directly got the answer. What did you do? How did you select the cell like that?
This one.
No.
Hmm.
Before that. After that, you selected the cells and it was showing is equal to cell 5 E3 like that it was showing, and they were colorful like red, green, yellow.
What
Then
I've
we got the answers.
this one? No,
Yeah.
this one, right?
Yeah.
So what I have done is I have just equal to sum, opened the bracket. Whenever you're writing the formula, you write the formula, open the bracket, right?
Okay, okay.
Then I went here and selected this off, selected the range,
Okay, sir, I got it.
right? And close the bracket and press enter. Every time you write a formula, you start with an equal to sign. You write the formula name, you open the bracket, then you select the corresponding range, right? Okay, now something very interesting for us, all of us. Come to 8th row. What I want to find of these numbers which are in these cells, what I want to find is the
Average.
Average.
Can I find the average something like this? This plus this, just to give me an idea, this plus this divided by 4. Right?
Yes.
There are 4 entries divided by 4. You will get an answer to be 3. This plus this plus this plus this divided by 4 will give you an answer to be.
Yes,
Right.
it does.
It does. It will give me an answer to be 3. Do you know what is the formula in Excel to find the average? What is the formula we use to find the average? There is one formula to find the average in Excel.
Is it sum product? No, average exactly.
It is average only.
Yeah.
It is average only, right? Now, if I say average and select these 4, right? And I press enter, see the answer is 4 and not 3. And this is one of the most interesting mistakes made in industry also.
Yes, sir.
We are
Yes,
getting answer to be 4, not 3, right?
Yes, sir. 4.
But if you are doing it manually, we are getting 3 as the answer. And both the methods are correct. What is happening? And this is one of the most critical things. Think of this to be billions, 3 lakh, 3 billion, 3 million. Now the difference is 3 million average or 4 million average. What is the difference? Anyone?
So technically there are only 3 data pieces. So it should be divided by 3 instead of 4.
Right. So technically there are only 3 data pieces, but these were the places where data pieces. Now, if I press 0 out here, if I put 0 out here, right? Then if you see the answer becomes same.
The difference is that Excel is taking the observation cell into consideration where the value is written.
Right. So wherever there is a blank, Excel in the formula format ignores that.
Yes.
So what it is doing is, even if I put an A out here, now see what happens. If I put an A, this will become an error. This will still give you an answer. See. Because it cannot add D8 to something which is A. Right? But Excel has neglected this altogether because this was a text. Is this clear? Very important, because if you look at it, both the things are right. This is also right and this is also right, but you are getting a difference.
Yes, sir.
So the formula one, is it correct?
Now it depends. What formula 1 is correct, but how it depends? Suppose you have a data like this. These are, suppose this was the sales of A, B, C, D. 4 employees were there. A, B, C, and D. Now understand the business implication of it. These are the 4 people who are doing sales, and these are their figures in rupees lakh. Now A did a sales of rupees 4 lakh. B did not do any sales. Now there are 2 ways to represent this data. Either leave it blank or put a 0. Either leave it blank or put a 0. In C, he did 5 lakh. In D, he did 3 lakh. Now, if you want this B, even if he did a 0 sales, obviously he should be included in the average or not. There were 4 people working. It should be. If the point is it should be included, then you should not leave it blank. You should put a 0 out here. Right? Because if you leave it blank, both things are right. People follow both the things in the industry. That they left it blank. No, he did not do anything. He left it blank. If you leave it blank, your formula will give you wrong answer. If you don't realize that what has happened. Now this is small data, we are able to see this. Had this been a data of 10,000 rows, we would not have realized why it has gone wrong. Right? So, but in case this person was ill and you don't want to consider him, then leave it blank. So what formula is doing is right, but we need to understand how formula is working behind. Is this clear? Is the point clear?
Can you
Yes,
please show that formula again, how to remove the average? Can you please show that again?
This one?
Yeah, sir. How did you select it like this?
Okay, this one you are saying. Okay. What I said equal to, right? I
Yeah.
clicked on this cell.
Okay.
Plus I clicked on this cell.
Okay.
Plus I clicked on this cell. Plus I clicked on this cell. Because I had to divide, so I put a bracket all around this and divided it by 4.
Okay, sir. Got it.
Right? Okay, this is what you are asking in the first phase also.
Yes, sir.
Okay, got the point. But is the logic clear? When this average and with this average, to how the data is to be manipulated to get the right answer, right?
Yes, sir. So basically, we should not leave any cell unvalued. We have to put 0 if it's unvalued over there.
Depends. Again, what I'm saying, if you want to neglect B, this time he was ill, you don't want to put him in your average, then we can leave it blank.
Okay.
Right? But if you want to include him, he should be included because he tried, but he could not do the sales.
Okay, sir.
Right? Then you have to put a 0, otherwise you will get a wrong average.
Yes, sir.
Got the point? So
yes, sir.
How do we manage the data and how do we understand the Excel formulas well is when we get the right answers out of it for analysis. Right?
So I wondered. So in similar case,
Hmm.
I didn't do it till now. If we had that plus function, right? When the cursor it changes to completely black plus signature. So in this case, if we do it, there is one in multiply option. If we just drag it down, there is a unvalued cell over there. So what will be the addition if it will show?
I did not get your point. In this multiply, you are saying?
Yeah.
Multiply was also kept for the same thing. I could have multiplied like what? This into this, into this, into this, right?
Yes, sir.
It would have given me 0. Why? Because this is, in this case, it is considering this blank to be a 0. Right? Instead, if I use the formula to multiply, which is a product, and select this range, it will not give me a 0. It will give me some answer to 84, which is this into this into this, neglecting this off.
Okay, sir.
Right? So if I put a 0, then everything will become 0. Same thing, same logic.
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
Right? Okay. Let us come to worksheet A. Let us do one thing first. Drag this D to some extent. Right?
Done, sir.
Done?
Yes, sir.
Now tell me one thing. Is this a formatted data? Or there is something unformatted in this data?
So there are errors in this data.
Errors? There are no errors in this data. Data is fine.
It's not formatted properly.
It's not formatted. What is the problem with the data?
There are some spaces in between.
Right. There are few spaces like this. We have and there are extra spaces in between, right?
Yes, sir.
At many places. If I have to remove it, what to do? Any idea? If I have to remove it, what to do?
Merge both the cells.
Merge both the cells won't help. What you are saying is this. Merge both the cells. This will come like
source
We can do the alignment. I mean the space.
Even if you do the alignment from here or here, it won't. The spaces won't go off. One way of doing this is click here and press a backspace and remove the spaces. Right? But if this is a 10,000 row data, 20,000, 1 lakh row data, can I go everywhere and do it one by one?
The format painter?
Format painter won't help. How the format painter will do something, I tell you something. You click here, you go to format painter, click here. The formatting will get pasted, but these spaces won't go off.
Yes, sir.
Right? Is the issue clear? I cannot, I know one way of removing this is double clicking here, then pressing a backspace to remove the space. I can do this. But can I do this for 20,000 rows? One by one for every set of data. Suppose this is RRRYY. Obviously the data is different. Now, can I do this for every of these datas and go everywhere and double click and remove the spaces one by one? Any other idea what to do?
Can we do like find and replace?
Finds, it won't find the spaces. It can find the space, but what it will, you will replace it with. You don't know how many spaces are there. You can find 1 space, 2 space, 3. How many spaces are there? We don't know.
Sir, I guess have you used something called as wrap text here?
Wrap text won't work. Wrap text is used for what? Wrap text is used for if the data is something like this, right? You have something like this and you want to wrap it up. If I now use a wrap text, which is this one, this is this one, wrap text, it will wrap it up out here. That means it will bring it within this cell. But that is not, wrap text won't help. What will help? What will help is a formula. What will help is a formula, and see how it will work. Let us do this together. Click here and use a formula which I am saying is equal to trim. Equal to trim. Now what trim does? Trim removes all spaces from a text string except for a single space between words. What trim does? Removes all spaces from a text string except for a single space between words. So use trim, open the bracket. What it is asking? Use trim. What it is asking in here? Text. That means it is asking where is the text you want to trim? Where is the text you want to remove the extra spaces? Where is the text? In? Where is the text? In?
C4.
C4. So I click here, close the bracket and press enter. The spaces are gone. Only thing is formatting is coming in this way. Now what you can do is click here, go to format painter and click here. Are the spaces gone?
Yes, sir.
I'll repeat the step. What I'm saying, you have to use the formula which is trim. What trim does? Trim removes all the extra spaces between words except one. Right? Removes all the extra spaces between words except one. Now, the moment you use trim and you set C4, it trimmed out the data out here. But the formatting, it was taking from this cell, D4. I wanted this formatting to apply here. So I clicked here. I went to format painter and I clicked on D4. This is how it looks like. Once this is done, do I have to do it again for the other cells? I have to write the formula again, or can I drag it down?
We can drag it down.
You can drag it down. It will happen automatically happen for all the other systems.
Sir, can you show the format painter thing again?
I'll show that. Up till this point, is it clear? Using the trim formula. Now what is happening? It is taking the formatting from here. If you want to copy this formatting, which is coloration, other things, from C4 to D4, click on C4, go to the format painter out here. Click on this once and come and click on D4. Now drag it down to fill for all. See if it is working.
Yes, sir.
It is working, right? Everywhere the extra space is gone or not?
Yes, sir, it is gone.
And this is what we wanted. Everybody please confirm, are we through till this point, so that I tell you what is the next problem in this. There is one more problem in this.
Yes, sir, done.
Done?
Done till here.
Done till here? Wonderful. Others also please confirm. Nidhi, confirm. Joel, confirm. Are we through till this point? Because this is that you have to do all along with me. Otherwise, you listen to it 10 times, you won't understand unless until you do it.
Keshav,
Right.
Joshua, Yash, Varun, please respond. Tushar. I see two Tushar Dakate and Tushar MBA4. Who are students have logged in from 2 accounts. Please confirm, Tushar.
Sir, I have logged in. Yes, sir, I have logged in with 2 devices.
Okay. Understand the problem from here. Understand the problem. Problem is, do I want both these data to be kept? Do I have to keep both these data? I don't want this data. Obviously, when I've already formatted, I don't want this data. But the issue is, if I go here and delete this column, see what happens to this column. What comes out here? Reference error. Why? What you trimmed? What was there in
C4.
C4? And you are removing C4, so obviously the data will also is gone. So it does not know what to trim. So it gives you an error. There is no data to trim now for him. Is this clear? Is the issue clear? Even if I click here and press a delete, see this also become blank.
Yes,
Because
sir.
he does
Yes.
not know what to trim.
Yes.
Right? This is an issue, right? Obviously, we don't want both to be kept. Some of us may say, let us hide this off, but that is not the solution, because even if when you hide it off, how many to be hidden if there is a large sheet? The way to go is, let us do this together. Everyone, click on D4. Click on D4. Go and select till end. Done. Click on D4. Don't select C4. Only D4. Go and select till this column till the data. Right click and say copy. Right click and say copy. Done. Right click and say copy. Now right click. Instead of pasting, say paste special. After copying, right click, you will see paste special out here. Click on paste special. In paste special, go and select values. What you are trying to tell Excel? You are trying to tell Excel, copy everything but paste only the values. Copy everything, but while pasting, remove the formulas and paste the values. Now press OK. See, your formula is gone now. Only the data remains. Are you now referring to C4 or not? Is this cell where I am in D4, is it referring to C4? See the formula bar.
No, sir.
If it is not referring to C4, can I not come here and delete it off now? Think again. If you want me to do this again, I'll do this again. But very important formula, very important tool in Excel, very important formula in Excel, which is your trim and paste special values.
So, but we pasted it there and there itself.
Yes, over it.
Okay.
We copied and pasted over it. You could have pasted it over here also.
Like, sir, in D4, the formula gets removed.
Everywhere.
Yes, sir.
You copied this off. While pasting. You right clicked and say paste special, and you told Excel remove everything, only keep the values. So you pasted the values. The moment you paste the values, your formula goes off. The moment the formula goes off, you can obviously now come here, select this and say delete. Because this is as good as typed values.
Sir, can you please repeat it again?
Which part from where we missed on?
After selecting the data, we have to right click and select what?
Okay. What I'm saying, after selecting the data, right click, you copied it. Step 1 is copy, don't cut. Copy it. Step 2 is right click, go to paste special. And while it is asking you what to paste, I am saying you have copied everything, but paste only the values over it. Don't paste the formulas, nothing. Only paste the values. And press OK. The moment you do this, your formula C4 is gone. It is now as good as typing it off. The moment this happens, you can come here and remove this off. Is this clear now, Tina?
Yes, sir.
Right. Others also, is this clear? Varun, Yash.
Yes, sir, all clear.
Clear till this point?
Yes, sir.
Joel, Yash, great. Thanks, ma'am.
Sir,
Yes, Tina.
after pasting special, how do we delete the left side data?
Go to the top, right click and say delete.
Okay.
The column will get deleted. Left side data. Thanks, Yane. Wonderful. Okay. Let us come to worksheet B. Let us come to worksheet B. Right? Let us come to worksheet B and see what problem we have out here and how to solve it off. And we would be doing something more to it. Can you see this column? What I want is at times you will find data, definitely find data where you have somebody who is typing has typed something like this: first name, middle name, last name. First name, middle name, last name. Suppose someone has to create an attendance sheet out of it, right? In this case, attendance sheet. Do we have in attendance sheet names like this, or we have name in one cell?
In
Yes.
one.
In one cell, right? We don't have names like this: first name, middle name, last name. We generally have it in one cell. Now I want all these names to come in one cell. How to bring it here? What can be done? Problem is clear or not? First and foremost.
Yes, the problem is clear.
Right? Obviously I cannot select this off and say merge. You know what will happen if I merge this off?
So you might only see Sumit here.
Yes, you might only see Sumit here, which is in the leftmost column. You will only see Sumit. Others will go. Right? So I want all these to come in one cell. I'll tell you there are in fact 4 ways of doing this, but I'll tell you 2 because a lot of us may not be using Office 16. 2 other ways have become available after 13 and 16. So I'll tell you the first 2. First way of doing this is press an equal to. Let us do this along. Press equal to. Click on B3. Click on B3. Put ampersand sign, which is above 7 on your keyboard. Click on ampersand sign, which is above 7 on your keyboard. Click on C3. Press ampersand sign. Click on D3. B3
Yes, sir.
and
Yes, sir.
C3 and D3.
Got it.
Press enter. Are we getting the name in one cell?
Yes, I got it.
Others, B3 and C3 and D3. What you are saying? You are joining B3 with C3 with D3. Press enter. You will get this. If I want to get other names, should I write formula again or I can drag it down?
We can drag it down.
You can drag it down. This is how it will come. Done for all?
Yes, sir. But the space still remains.
But the space still remains. I'll come to that. Space is an issue because you don't have the spaces in here. Class students, are we done till this point?
Yes, sir, done.
Great. I tell you the next formula. There is another formula. This is not an inbuilt formula. This is the old one of the oldest ways we used to do it, but still very much applicable if you are doing dynamic graphing. The second way to do this is I go here and type a formula which is concatenate, available in all the system, previous versions also. Now what concatenate is, it says join several text strings into one text string. I open the bracket. What it is asking? What inputs it
So
wants?
what did you say? Concatenate does?
Concatenate joins several strings into one. What and what the same thing concatenate will do. Join several.
Almost the same thing.
Yes, it will give you the same thing, but this is an inbuilt formula of Excel.
Yes, sir.
Right? What it is asking? Text 1, comma text 2.
To find out the text. The
Right?
text.
But important point to remember here is if I select it like this and enter. In my system, it is giving like this because I'm using 365. In your system, it will give an error if you are not using 365. Right? Important point to understand is this concatenate formula requires text to be given with a comma sign. That means you have to select this, comma, select this, comma, select this. Bracket close and enter.
So here the range cannot be given, right?
Range cannot be given because these are not the range formulas. There are few formulas which does not accept the range. Although Excel, the Microsoft realized it and they've already come up with a formula which is concat and text join, but will not work in all the systems. So I'm not using it right now. Right? If you're using Google Sheet, there the concatenate accepts the range. But in Excel, previous versions, especially in concatenate formula, you have to give it one by one. That means I have to put a B3, C3, D3. It will give you the same output. Is this clear?
Again, giving the output without the spaces.
Yes, yes, it is still giving you output without space. I'll come to how to put in the spaces. But is this clear to all? Concatenate,
Yes, I got it.
right? Now, issue is what? Issue are the spaces. Issue are the spaces. How to put in the spaces? Just have a look at it. I'll again use concatenate. I'll again use concatenate. B3, comma. What do you want after B3? Between B3 and C3, what do you want? Is a space?
Space.
So we open a double quote, we press a space bar, we close the double quotes. Comma. Now we select C3. Comma. Double quotes open, press a space bar, double quotes closed. Comma. D3. What you are telling Excel? You are telling Excel whatever is there in B3, join it with a space, join it with the C3, join it with a space, join it with the D3. This is what we are telling Excel. Is this clear? Now can we see the spaces out here?
Yes, sir.
B3, comma, double quotes open, space bar, double quotes close, comma, C3, comma, double quotes open, space bar, double quotes close, comma, D3. Right?
Still spacebar has to come in double quotes.
Yes, anything which we want to enter. If I wanted to enter a dot in between, I would have put it dot between double quotes. Then it would have taken Sumit.Kumar. Anything which you are hard coding has to come within double quotes. Right? Now I need not do it again and again. What I can do? I can drag it down to fill for all. Is everybody through till this point? And everybody can understand how to put in the spaces?
Yes, sir.
Right? Wonderful. Now you can see some of us have started responding, and this is what I'm looking at, because what will happen is I'll move on with 2 or 3 years, and rest 40 we'll do it afterward. That won't happen. So I'll wait for you if you are not done, but you need to tell me upfront that do this again or help me with this again. Everyone. This is not a session where we can.
Sir, I'm getting a default
Error?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you copy the formula and paste it in chat box?
1 minute.
You can copy it from here. Just click here, you go here and copy it from here. Copy and paste
I
it in
didn't
chat
get
box.
you. Sorry.
Where you have written the formula, just double click there. Either copy it from here or you can go to the formula bar and copy it from there.
Okay, I'll just.
Right? Just copy the formula from here and paste it in the chat box.
1 minute. I think I've identified it. 1 minute.
Right.
Yes, I got it. Thank you.
So is the issue clear? This is how we put in the spaces, right? Now, if we are through till this point, tell me I'm going to write one formula. Is this the same data which is given here? The same data is here, right? I'm going to write the formula concatenate this, comma, this, comma, this. If I write this formula, what will be the issue? If I write this formula, what will be the issue with this?
There will be no space between.
There will be no space. I press enter. Are there spaces?
Yes.
There are spaces. I drag it down. Are there spaces everywhere, or there's some place where there's no space?
Some places they are not there.
Which is between Sunil and Kumar. Every other place there is a space. Now what has happened? Any guesses? Why this is same data? Same data. Here when we are putting the formula, it was not giving me any spaces. Here it is giving me spaces. What may have happened? And how to deal with this? Because now this is a complex data. At some places there are spaces. If I introduce a space, and these spaces, it will become double spaces. If I put a double quotes open and space bar, double quotes close, comma, now between Sumit and Kumar, it will become 2 spaces, which I don't want. What may have happened? Any guesses, anyone? Right or wrong is fine with me. But if you have anything which you can suggest why this may have happened, please do let me know.
No clue.
And
no, sir.
And this may happen in any of the data. Big data, you bring it down, this will happen, and we have to format it before we do anything. Reason for doing this is while typing Sumit, somebody has given a space after this. Somebody did what? He typed Sumit, he gave a space bar and then pressed enter. So there's already a space after Sumit. Is this clear? So either you give a space after Sumit or before Kumar. If any space is given, that would be added between Sumit and Kumar. Even after Kumar, you can see a space after this. After Sunil, see there's no space. That's why it's coming Sunil Kumar without space.
But Mr. Gulati, just a question.
Yes, please.
So while you're entering data, you don't, especially when it has got to do with text, you subconsciously kind of type when you're putting in the data quickly. In some cases, there might be spaces, some cases, there may not be spaces. So if there is inconsistency in filling the data, then there are these issues that may come up.
Definitely.
So then you are suggesting that what do you do in that case? I mean, do you still put that a space in between as you had spoken, or you just leave it the way it is and then you check each cell for where there are spaces and when there are?
No, we cannot do that. If it's a 5 lakh data, we cannot go to every cell and check it, right?
Exactly, that's the point.
Right, we have to create something out here. That's what I'm coming to. We have to create something out here so that it takes care of everything.
Okay.
We'll create one formula out here which we can drag down or double click and fill it off, and everything will be taken care of.
Okay.
Where there are no spaces, spaces will come. Where there are extra spaces, spaces will go. Right. So the problem is clear, right? As rightly pointed out, here if I put in space, what will happen? Somebody may say because between Sunil Kumar there is no space, and obviously I'm not going to identify where there are no spaces and then put the double quotes, etc. I need to do something here. So somebody says, let us put a space out here. Let us put a space. So jahan space nahi hai, there would be spaces, right? Suppose I put a space something like this. Now what will happen? What will happen in this cell E13? Can you see double spaces coming in?
Space will be increased, sir.
Double space aa gaya na?
Yes, sir.
Now if I drag down, your Sunil Kumar is taken care of, but everywhere else there are double spaces.
Yes, sir.
Right? Now what to do? How to get rid of double spaces?
So the trim option.
Wonderful. Now use a trim. Trim on what? Trim on this data. And double click. You will find everything in the right place.
Sir, we can just give a space on Sunil, right?
See, this is small data. Had it been 5 lakh data, how will you go and identify everywhere?
Yes, sir.
That
Can
is
you
the
repeat
problem.
the last step?
Last step, what we did is we said that I said this is double spaces, right? So I don't know where there are double spaces, where they're not. I know there is a function trim which will remove every extra space except one between the words.
So before doing trim, you inserted one space.
Yes, I inserted.
Okay.
So extra spaces came in. Now I'm doing a trim on it.
Okay. Okay.
So it will remove the extra spaces where there are no spaces. It has been created, but it will not remove it because it eventually keeps one space between words.
Okay.
Right. So now once you do this and drag it down, this is the right data. Right?
Yes, sir. Got it.
Yes,
Got
sir.
it? Everyone, is this clear?
Yes, sir. One more question, Mr. Gulati.
Yes, please.
So this we are referring to is where it comes to names, right? So whatever text is filled into there. But suppose the text has got some name or numbers or anything other than the text, and you just want this, whatever is there in that cell, to be in one of the cells, the same format, like this in this case, it's a full name, but maybe I want, say, a 3 or a percentage or some other text or number, which are in different cells, but I want them all together in one cell. Can the same concept be applied to
Everything. I'll do that.
irrespective of?
Yes.
irrespective of
If I do this concatenate and say this comma this,
right.
If I do this, it will become 334.
That's what I want to know.
It will bring
that
anything.
takes it.
Yes. It will just join the whatever is there in the two string. Even if there are spaces, that will join the spaces in between.
Okay.
Right?
It will take the symbols also.
It will take anything.
Okay.
If I put this and if I put and I say equal to concatenate, right? Concatenate this and join this comma this and press enter, it will become like this.
Okay.
Right? So anything which is there will be joined together. That is the function of this concatenate. Is this clear why we use the trim to everyone? Please confirm.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right? Now, if I just waiting for all to confirm, great to see more responses.
MB2, MB4, please respond, everyone.
Right, still we out of 40 or 38 set 7 whatever, we have 5 10 15 responses out there. Would love
Attending Hina Mumtaz, can you confirm? Hina Mumtaz, you are from which batch? Hina Mumtaz.
From BBA, MBA to Mohit.
MB2. No, but she's not responding. Hina, can you respond?
Yeah, even
please?
I was waiting.
Hina Mumtaz. Okay, go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Right. So now we know what we did first. Just to give an idea, we concatenated, then we trimmed, right? Obviously, the last step, if I don't want all this, last step would be, I'll copy this, come here, paste special as values.
Yes, sir.
The final output I'll paste special here. Now, if I don't want this, I can remove this off. If I don't want this to be there, I can remove this off also. Only this will remain up. Right? But
Yes, sir.
before we do that, I'll tell you something. Was it not taxing to do it 2 times? First concatenate, then trim, then copy and paste. Can I do something to do it in one go? I want this final output to come directly out here. Let us see how. What you did first with the formula, you concatenated with a space. And then finally what you did with the output of that concatenate? Trimmed it. So I can write a formula which we call it as nested formula. Just have a look at it. I'll increase the space of it so that we can do it together. Last thing we did was a trim, right? I start with trim. I open a bracket. What it is asking? It is asking me
Text, sir.
the text which is to be trimmed. Here
Yes,
I'm going to run the formula which is concatenate. And I'm going to say concatenate what? Concatenate this, put a space. With this, put a space. With this. Bracket close. Now, once you close this bracket, right, up till now, when you open the bracket after concatenate, it is asking you text 1, text 2, text 3, and so on. The moment you close this bracket, now it is asking you the trim entries. You close another bracket for trim. What you are telling Excel? First concatenate it like this. Whatever output you get, you have to do what on it?
Trim it, sir.
Trim it, and then give me the final output. Now see the answer. Directly you are getting the complete final answer out here. See the output. Try it out.
Here also, because this is the reference, we cannot delete the previous column data because
Eventually, when you are writing the formula and you want to delete it off, you have to copy it and paste special values.
yes, copy and paste special
Yes,
has
yes.
to be done.
That is to be done. You have to do a control C, and then you have to do something like which is paste special values. That has to be done.
So, sir, here we are using concatenate and trim together.
Yes, this is what we call it as in Excel. We call this as nested formulas.
Nested formula.
Nested formulas. Formula within a formula. Right, and going ahead, you will realize
Other formulas can also be done with this way.
any formula. Going ahead, we'll use 7 formulas together, 6 to 7.
Okay. So can you type what it is called for our students?
This is called. This is called
formulas.
nested formula.
Nested. All right, sure.
Nested formula. Nested formula means more than one formula in another. We generally, there's one very important term which you call it nested if, where we use more than one ifs, 2 or 3 or 4 ifs together. So this is a nested formula. Right? Everybody through with this? Please confirm. Or you have any doubt, do let me know. I'll just wait for all to confirm so that we can take this ahead. So we have created a first nested formula, which is trim and concatenate together. Done for all? Great. Let us do one exercise out here. Suppose here are the first name in worksheet C, first name and last name. What I want to do is you to create an email ID of the format first name dot last name @gmail.com. First name, suppose this is the data somebody is having and he wants to write the email IDs, right? And email IDs in the organization is of the format first name dot last name whatever is the extension. Let us take it to be gmail.com, or if you have extension for MIT, you can take it as MIT whatever .com .edu .what. But what I am saying, first name dot last name @gmail.com. Will anybody, if I have to create this, if somebody asks me to compile this data,
Sir,
will I go
sorry
ahead?
to interrupt, but
Yes, please.
I tried my trim and concave.
Yes.
It's not working actually.
This one,
Mine one. I'll just copy paste my
please paste it
formula.
paste in the chat box.
Sorry. to
Not a
interrupt.
problem. Please do. Trim concatenate B13. One bracket needs to be closed in the end after D13. Concatenate B13.
Okay, got it.
comma,
Thank you.
Right? Okay. So it actually did not close the trim part.
Yes, I got it. Thank you.
So coming to worksheet C, what I want is you to create an email ID for everybody with first name dot last name @gmail.com. First name dot last name @gmail.com. Just try it out. Right. Obviously, I'm not going to type it 10 times. There are two ways. One way is a very fast way available in 16, etc. We'll do it in the later sessions. But right now, if I have to do it out here, first name dot last name @gmail.com, will I go and type it for 10,000 students that we have in the university? I want to compile this data in Excel.
So could you use the same pattern of concatenate with maybe a sign or something in between?
Yes.
And then add the value that you're wanting to add. I mean, add the text that you're wanting to add. Is it possible?
Yes, it can be done. Your same formulas will work, just to put it in more practical way. This, right? What you're saying is absolutely right. We will use it in the similar way. Just try it out. For question is clear to all students, right? First name dot last name @gmail.com. This is what I want the email ID. I want to write the formula here once and drag it down to fill for all. What should be the email?
Yes, sir. Done.
Shreyam, who did?
Heather.
Heather. Others also please do and let me know.
Sir, done.
Done. This is Nisha. No, this is
Hina, yes, sir.
Hina. Okay. Others also. I'll wait for a minute.
Can you explain just how do we do it exactly?
Yes. I'll explain. I'll take this.
Sir, in this, A of Akriti and N of Nigam is coming capital.
Is coming capital. We'll make it smaller just after.
So is that fine?
Yes, this is fine. Right now it will come in capital because the input is a capital.
So because we have applied the same formula.
Yes. So it will be fine. It will be in capital, but we'll make it in lower capital, in lower caps after a minute.
Yes.
So yes. So what we do is we use a concatenate. Right. It is asking for text 1. What is my text 1? It is in A3. Comma. It is asking me for text 2. Double quotes open. Put a dot. Double quotes closed. Comma. What is text 3? B3. What is text 4? @gmail.com. Double quotes closed, bracket closed.
So you wanted a dot also between both?
Yes. A3. Generally, the organization email IDs are first name dot last name @gmail.com or whatever the extension.
Okay.
Right. So first name dot last name @gmail.com. So once you created what I'm telling Excel, A3, put a dot, B3 @gmail.com. Now, either I can drag it or just come to the end and double click and you will fill for all. because Excel is a smart tool. The moment it goes here, it will take A4, B4. It will come here, it will take A5, B5, and so on. Right? Is it done and clear to all? If any doubts, do let me know. Concatenate a3.b3@gmail.com.
Yes, sir. Now got it.
Got it? Others, if anyone has any doubt, do let me know. I'll do this again if you have any doubt. Okay, A and N are capital, A and R are capital. This we want to do it. We'll do it later, just after 2-3 minutes. Let us come to first worksheet F. From worksheet C, let us come to worksheet F. Before we go to D, E later, let us come to worksheet F. Can you see these names? On the left side, Tanya Pandey, Rahul Singh, Shubham Agarwal, Anand Singh, Prabhat Shukla. If I want to convert this into uppercase, in Microsoft Word, there is a tool out here which you can click on here and you can make it uppercase or lowercase or something. But in Excel, there is no word, there is no tool. The way to do this is to use a formula which is upper. The way to do this is to use a formula which is upper. It is asking for text. This is where the text is. Make B4 to be upper. So this will become an uppercase. Try it out and let me know. If you want to make it in uppercase, the formula is upper. If you want to make everything in lowercase, the formula is lower. Lower what? Lower this. This will come in lowercase. If you want to make it proper case, what is proper case? Proper case means first letter of every word capitalized. First letter of every word capitalized. What do you have to do? Equal to, the formula is proper only. The formula is proper only. Proper this. See, first letter becomes capitalized of every word. Is this clear? The three formulas very simple. Upper, lower, and proper. Upper, lower, and proper. The formulas are the same.
Yes, sir.
Right? Formulas are the same. Upper, lower, and proper. Done for all?
मैं नोट्स बना रही हूँ, नोट्स ले लेना मेरे से.
Is this clear? Upper, lower, and proper? Okay. If done, let us come to worksheet C back. Issue was first letter are capitalized. Now what to do? Just before the first formula, start with proper. And enclose everything between, sorry, lower. You want everything in lower case. So enclose everything within lower. What you are telling Excel? To concatenate everything, make it lower, and then give it as output. Not double click to fill for all. Is this done? Please try.
So can you please repeat it once more?
This one?
Yes, sir.
What I said is you started with concatenate, right? Before concatenate, I've said lower and opened the bracket and closed the bracket at the end. What I'm telling Excel is concatenate this all first, then make it lower and give it as the output.
So again, a question.
Yes, please.
Here, when you have these double that you are doing, so is this applicable to all the other formulas as well when we have to do it within them, even if it's numerical values and all? Normally numerical also we do this one.
What thing? I did not get it.
This you know, we have this nested formula that we are talking about.
Mhm.
So this nested is applied to other, numerical values also when we have to do, we use the same concept, right?
Yes, concept will remain. Concept is very simple. Output of this becomes input to the lower formula.
Correct. So this
That-
we
that-
can apply anywhere that we are wanting
Anywhere.
to.
Yes, wherever you want it to be applied, that way that output of this becomes input to that, we
Huh.
can use this concept.
Okay.
And no matter how many formulas we are using, you can use 10 formulas together.
Oh, is that so? Okay.
So for example, along with the average, if I want to calculate the percentage, so both of them can be nested.
It
Sorry.
can be, then you have to get the average out first, then add all the averages. So you start with sum, open a bracket, find the average of different entities, use the sum in the end, it will add all the averages.
I didn't get it, sorry.
Suppose something like this. What we are saying is, suppose the entity would have been 2, 4, right? There are two categories of numbers, 3, 5. What I wanted is to first find the average of these two, and then add it up. Suppose this was the case. I wanted to find the average of these two, then add it up. So what I would have done is I would have said equal to sum,
Yeah.
bracket open. It would have asked me first number. I would have said average. Average of what? Average of these two. Comma, again an average. Average of what? Average of these two.
Okay.
Bracket close, enter. One more enter. It would have given me it would have done average of these two, then added it up.
Okay.
If you see, average of these two is 3 and average of these two is 4. So it has finally added it up and given me 7.
Correct. So can you go to that 7 cell again?
Yes,
I want to
I'll
have
show it to you.
some average and then again average. Okay, fine.
The output of average has become input to sum. That is the logic.
Correct.
Right? So hopefully this is clear to all. Coming to worksheet D. If you're through with C, any doubts till this point, please do let me know. I would be very happy to know if there are any issues or you're not getting it or something. Please do let me know if there are any issues around this till this point. If you're getting it, you can just put a yes. If then we go to the next sheet and try and do something slightly better.
Getting it.
Okay, great. Now what I'm saying is I'll talk of 3 formulas right now, 3 formulas. Then we'll play around those formulas. Text category only. Before we go to the next session, we'll talk of other categories of formula which are very important. But right now we'll just talk of this. Suppose in this, now I don't want to create an email ID. Just to give you an example, I don't want to create an email ID of first name dot last name, etc. I want the first 3 letters of the first name to be extracted out. For any code, suppose there are some products, I want the code to be created. The code, how do we create the code? We generally say the first 3 letters. If it's suppose mobile, so I want MOB out from it. First 3 letters of the name. How do we bring out first 3 letters of the name? The function is left. The function is left. What it asks, the moment you say left, what it is asking, it will ask you 2 things. What are the 2 things it is asking? The function is left.
Text, that is, yeah, the cell and the
Number of
I think
characters.
numbers and characters, right?
Number of characters. This is one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number of characters.
So text is this and number of characters is 3.
Yeah, right.
Right, left A3 comma 3. Now what it will bring out, what it will give the output to be? It will give AAK. It will give me AAK, right? Now I can drag it down. I'll get all the first 3 letters out. Right? If instead I want the 3 letters from the right, the function is write itself. The function is write itself. Now what is write? Write from this text and number of characters to be 3. Press enter. Now double click because you have a data next to it. otherwise it won't have, or drag it down to fill for all. Are we getting 3 letters from the right?
So can you repeat the double click function? How to do it?
Double click is if you have a data out here, you can double click, and what you are doing with dragging, the same double click does. Right? Or you can just drag it down till end. Something like this. The same thing will double click will do, but it will not work in every place. You should have a data here or here. Right? Is right working for all?
Yes, sir.
Is it working correctly? Go and just scroll down and check, are we getting 3 from right from in every? Or there is some space where we are not getting 3.
Sir, in Moria, there is 2 places.
Only 2 is coming out. And even if you go down to the towards the last, probably there may be somewhere 2 is coming out, right? In this Rathi.
Yes, sir.
Right? What may be the issue?
So there would be an extra space after the name.
There would be an extra space after name. Very true. So there would be an extra space. That means in Moria, if I click here, you see there is a space after this. That's why YA is coming out. Just have a look at it. There is a space after this. Once you click, can you see a space after Moria? And space is considered to be a character in Excel. Space is considered to be a character in Excel. So YA and a space is a YA and a space. You are getting YA and space out here. So what to do? In such case, we want 3. We don't want this to be considered. What can we use? Anyone? How to do
First trim the data and then use it. So nesting of a formula.
Can be done. First trim the data and then use it. But how, if I have to nest it off, how do we write this formula?
Is equals to trim, comma.
Trim,
then
comma, trim. There is
sorry.
no comma after this. Open the bracket,
Sorry,
right?
is equals to trim,
Right.
bracket.
So I can write it as equal to trim. This is what we are saying. If I click here, I can write it equal to trim, open the bracket.
And close the bracket.
Close the bracket. Just try it out. I believe it will not solve the problem. Just try. Still YA will remain the same.
Oh.
Right. Anyone else? Just try it out. What is the issue? Why this is not working? Although the logic is very true, very correct, that we need to trim the data. Why it is not working?
Because it's
Should it be the
gives
reverse?
one space it allows no.
No. In the end, it does not allow any space. Trim allows space between words, one space between words, but in the end does not allow any space.
Okay.
Should it be right and then trim?
Yes, it should be right and then trim A3.
But means I just
Then
get a
trim
guess.
A3. I tell you why this is true. It should be right and then trim A3. See what Professor Rana also said, you need to trim the data first and then use right? So if we are doing this, we are trimming the data first and then giving it as an input to write.
Okay, right.
Right? There what we are doing, we are bringing out the data out first and then trimming it off. So we were using right first, which was bringing out YA and a space and then trimming it out. So in this YA, extra space was not showing. That was the only point. But here what I am doing, I am saying right trim A3. That means trim the data first and then use right on it. Now if you double click, it will, or drag it down, it will work for all now. Just try. See if it's working. See if the issue of Moria now
So is
RY
it
is.
advisable to trim the data, any particular data before sorting it out or before taking anything out of it?
Now,
Is it advisable to do it?
see, we generally do it within the formula, we write it off, right? But at times formula may become very complex. So we need to, it depends. If we are very sure that the data from whichever source it comes out, there are no spaces, right? Then we
For
need not do
example,
it.
in this big financial statements or anywhere, if there is a space bar given by mistake between two
Right.
numbers, so the answer may get impacted.
Yes.
Although it will
So
not get.
definitely. So if 4 space 45 instead of 45, 4 space
Correct.
5 comes out, You need
Yeah.
to trim it off. But
So
that
it is
won't work.
advisable to do it
No,
before.
the issue is if there is a single space between 4 and 5, it won't impact it anyway.
Okay.
Just because it will leave one space afterwards.
Okay. No, but if there are other spaces, then
Yes, if there are other spaces more than one space, it can be trimmed out. So generally, when we deal with the financial data, any of the text data especially, we trim it out.
so before applying anything, we should apply trim. It is advisable.
Yes, but I'll take you to some cases where we don't want to apply it. I'll show you that also going ahead, right? So it is, but if we understand whether we require the trim or not, if we require trim, yes, it is advisable. That is more on the data and how do we want to use it off.
Okay, so for the marketing profiles and for the HR profiles, the data trimming.
No, even in finance, I'm purely finance. I use it extensively while doing financial modeling.
Okay.
So these functions are data formatting functions or data manipulation functions, right? For the text.
Okay.
So now every time we have a data, as I said, we don't work on data before and unless until you format it well first.
Sure.
Right. So this is what we do. Now this is left, this is right. What is the third and the last we do for today is mid. Suppose I want to extract something from the middle. I don't want to extract something from the right or the left. I want to extract something from the middle. Right. So what I can use is a mid. Now how mid works? Mid is asking, obviously, if I have to extract and I say extract 3 from the middle, what you will be asking me? If I say extract 3 from the middle, what will you be asking?
Left and right number of.
No, left and right is, you would be
The
asking me number.
starting and end point. The starting and end point.
At least you won't require the end point, you would at least be asking me the starting point.
Yeah.
From after that 3 can be extracted, right? Because we are giving the number 3. So the same thing now Excel is going to ask you. It is going to ask you the text, the start number and the number of characters. So this is the text. The start number is supposed 2 and the number of characters is 3. What it will extract?
It will leave the first 2 and take the next 3.
No, it start from the second only.
It will start from the second and the next 3.
In the next 3. So it will bring out small a, K and R. It will bring out small a, K and R. Start from it is.
Okay, it will start from the second
Yes,
alphabet.
it is asking
and take
start
3
numbers.
from there.
Yes, 3 from there, counting from the second only.
Can you explain this again? The
This
middle
one?
one. The
Right.
middle one.
Yes, same. I was just asking, and the question was, if I ask you extract 3 from the middle, won't you ask me from where? If I ask you give me 3 letters from the middle, what you will ask me? Tell me from where I have to start extracting it out, right?
Yes, sir.
This is what Excel is asking you now. The moment you say equal to mid, it asks you 3 things. It asks you, tell me the text from where to extract. I said, this is the text. It asks you the start number. I say start number is the second character. So start from extracting from the second character.
Okay.
And how many to be extracted is 3.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Right. So obviously this is a genuine question which you would ask me. That is Excel is asking me in syntax form.
Yes.
Right. Got the point?
Got it, sir. Got it.
Okay. Others also, is this clear till this point? Left, right, and mid 3 functions. So almost we have done these 3 functions. We have done upper, lower, middle, etc. We did the concepts on concatenate, formatting tool. Any doubts in this till this point? Do let me know. Otherwise, we'll continue from the same point from tomorrow, where we'll go to the next category of some analysis formulas, etc. After doing 1 or 2 more things. Any doubts till this point? Please do let me know.
No, not at all. In fact, some of them were very helpful ones, which we didn't know until now. So it's been quite useful.
Sir,
yes,
can
please.
I ask one basic question basically?
Please do.
What is the actual function of the drag and drop option when that cursor turns into the plus sign?
This is what you are asking. This one?
Yeah.
There's no function behind it. This is to drag it down just to show that this is when
Means sometimes it adds up, or it comes, number comes in a sequence or something like that. I just want
no, that is if you do this, if you want to fill in 1 everywhere, right?
Yes, sir.
What you do, you click 1 and drag it down, it will fill 1 1 1 1 1. But if you tell Excel, you type 1 and 2 and select these two, you're telling Excel you have to increase it by 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, sir.
So once you drag it down after selecting, after putting 1 and 2, you are telling him the pattern what is to be done. You're telling him 1 and 2, right?
Yes,
Then
sir,
coming
yes,
in
sir.
and drag it down. So it will fill 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yes, sir.
If you do it from the very first beginning from here, it will fill 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
So basically it generates a pattern.
Yes, it will generate a pattern. Suppose I put in 3, I put in 3, 1, 3, right? And
Yes,
then
sir.
drag it down. See what will fill in.
Yes, sir.
So it takes the pattern, whatever you are trying to put in, and then drag it to fill accordingly.
So if it comes in the time of the exercise we did, if we select two cells and do it, then what will be the pattern?
Means what, this and this?
No, the names we created.
The names we created. That means in the B sheet.
Yes, sir.
Or C sheet here.
Yeah, the email ID ones.
The
If we
email
select-
ID. Nothing will change because there's no pattern to it. It will fill it accordingly.
Okay, okay.
So numbers में patterns होते हैं ना, the text में थोड़ी patterns हैं.
Yes, yes.
Right.
Understood.
Got it. So
Yes, sir.
just before I give the attendance link, just help me, all students, please help me whether you got it or not.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yes, please.
For these formulas, left, right, and middle, there is a difference when we use trim with it. Like for example, right, open bracket, trim, open bracket A3, close bracket, comma, 3, and then close bracket.
Right.
But when we are not using trim, we are
Right.
directly using like right, open bracket A3, comma, 3, close bracket. So why do we have to
See,
close
why-
A3 separate bracket and while using trim?
See, what is happening is once you are saying trim, you are asking Excel to trim A3. So once you start running trim, it is all the entries which you are giving now is for trim only. Unless and until you close it off, now it goes back to the right. Every function which opens with a bracket has to close with a bracket. Now, if I remove this bracket, see what it is asking. It's still on trim. So now this comma 3 will become an entry to the trim, which it does not want. It will give you an error.
Okay, okay, okay.
Right. So you have to close it to tell that trim is closed now. Now you have to run the right.
Okay, sir, got it.
Got it. Okay. So students, please let me know whether you got it or not. And do you want any changes in terms of, this is what I ask every time. Do you want any changes in terms of pace or anything else? Please do let me know, because then it becomes effective for all of us.
I guess the pace is great.
If you have anything to let me know, let me know. Otherwise, you can just put a yes. It will help that you got it, or you just put a got it. That will also help.
Sir, I think it was a very informative session for professors also. Here we have learned few things where we have not used it before, and it will help us in our teaching pedagogy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much.
In fact, students, we could see that there were 15-20 of you were very responding and to sir's questions. We want that everyone. The batch size is about 32 of second year and about 20-21 of first year. So there should be about 43-44 students, and I see attendees as 40, out of which there are 3-4 faculties. There is one IT host, and there is sir itself. So I see very less number of students, as good as 33-34 number of students. So please make sure, please pass on your feedback also to the students what they have missed on the first day. But we still have another 9 days to go. Students have actually missed out on a very, very informative session. Let's not do this from our next session, which begins on 10th. I hope everyone has the timetable and the timing. Just to clarify, on 11th, which is a Friday, our session was scheduled on 3:15 to 5:15, which will now be rescheduled in the morning from 9:15 to 11:15. I will share you the time and the link for the Friday session, but that is the new timing, just only for 11th Feb, which is a Friday. So over to you.
Thank you. So I have just put in the Google form link, which is the attendance link, which is shared with Mohit sir also. So you can just put in your name and the roll number out there so that this can be compiled, apart
Sure.
from the other attendance that is being done.
And this will be, the attendance will be taken right now at 5:19 who are present. Those who
Right.
students have left in the middle, their attendance will not be counted, and accordingly, you will be given your attendance and your credits accordingly. CIAS may make sure students right now present at 5:19 will only be given attendance.
Okay. So thank you so much all. Mohit sir, I take your leave then.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. It was
Most welcome.
wonderful. All I can say, as Kitty ma'am said, not only from the students, but all the faculty, the staff who are present out here could also actually make use of this training and can brush up on their Excel skills, which we use it on day-to-day basis. I won't take much of your time. I'm sure you have a lot of other sessions ahead. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
All
you
the
so much, sir.
students, thank you, sir.
Right.
We'll
Thank
meet
you.
on 10th now. The link remains the same. We meet
Right.
on 10th, which is a Thursday at 3:15 sharp. Today it was the first day, so there was 15 days utilized for the introduction, but on Thursday, please log in at 3:35 so that 3:15 sharp we are going to start.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.